Alrighty, so this is week 16. So really, all I have left to do for you, I was thinking about this earlier, is I just need to put together one last learn together and put together the schedule for code reviews. So that'll be relatively straightforward, not that much to do, so I should get that done in a timely manner. But I wanted to say a word about the week 16 lectures because, and I said this in there, but I want to bring it up, bring it up just to be clear. We're moving through the three major paradigms for doing asynchronous JavaScript. And we're moving through them relatively quickly. And, I like that there's an introduction to into these concepts here. I like that you get some experience so you can choose to have your Dev 1 be in writing some asynchronous code. Doing classes would not, you could actually work that in there, but right, there are two different paradigms. That's why I have two different options for Dev 1. Or again, if you want to do something outside of that, sorry, I'm digressing here. To contact me. And by the way, that deadline is the 15th, I said. So here's the deal. Coming back to my original concept is understanding these three techniques, these three paradigms of doing asynchronous is good. And they really just take experience. The more experience you get with these concepts, the more you're going to be comfortable coding them. And like anything else, it's muscle memory the more you do. But in this class, because we're only getting this right at the end, this is a pretty gentle introduction. And it's a good one. It's a solid one. But I will tell you that, and I hope, and I've said this, to see you in my Node.js class because you get a lot more of that experience. But ending with, right, so callbacks, promises, and async await. Now, as you see in the code that you're going to do, because we are refactoring the code you did last night for the Learn Together, which was great. I saw some really good output, and I like the functionality that I saw from changing to where you displayed to-dos based on complete or not. Some of you used the images that are on JSON. That was great. There's just some good examples of taking that idea of here's a website, grab some content, add some functionality to your page besides just presenting it, which by the way is good just to know how to present those. But the important part, all of it's important, but is understanding, right, that in this week, we're going to change from XML HTTP request, right? We're going to use fetch. So not only are we changing the way we're making the call, we're also changing the technique for receipt. So fetch, we're fetching that API, but how we're handling that code, how we're handling those calls, so we're changing two things, right? So just keep that in mind when you're coding this. So this week we'll refactor that such a long XML HTTP request to fetch. And then we'll change from callbacks to promises and async await. So again, it's a great experience. Understand that it is such an important topic because, as I tried to say before, think about all the apps that you use in your life, right? Most all of them are making some kind of network request or writing some kind of file, and these things just take longer and you have to be able to handle them. So these concepts are really fundamental to understanding how to write good user experience code because the user doesn't want to wait. We don't want to block the UI thread. And what that is if you've ever been on a website and you've done something and it feels like the whole page has frozen, that's because they didn't write it in a way that uses asynchronous code to fire those requests off and then get some kind of response and handle that response. You don't see as much of this as you used to, but it's still out there on the web. So, FYI. Okay, so the other thing I just want to put out there is that One, I've been working with, I don't think Julian will mind me mentioning this, right? That him and I have been like, here's some more suggestions for how to up your game in web development. And I've actually been thinking about starting a Discord server just to have students who have taken web development classes can come together and talk about some of the resources they're using. Just talk about some of the, like, here's a pathway. Like, we could collectively create like a path of, go do this free code camp, do this, do this, do this. Because I mean, obviously, taking our classes, my opinion is, and I hope you share this at this point, that these are great ways to get introduced and get some experience. And if you want to take this to the next level, you really have to be willing to give it that time that it needs. It's like anything in life. The more you do it, the more your muscle memory, the better your skill, the more marketable, the more you're going to be, their opportunities are going to be available to you. So if I did start a Discord server, would you be interested in joining? Let me know in the response, or any other question or comment about this. Like I said, I will have the schedule. I'll do it today. Now I'm shifting gears again. Shifting gears into talking about the code reviews. They'll be handled the way we've handled it in the past. They will run from that Monday, but you could do it before. Like, if you got it done sooner, please do, right? But just because I like to remind all of us, like, kind of the end of semester schedule too, because you'll hear me talking about this more, right? As we move forward, right? So our last is Dev 2 is going to be due here. And actually that night, I will have my other class, online class, my face-to-face class that I'm doing through Zoom. So I will start, of course, sessions on Monday, Tuesday, but you could also talk to me on the 15th. So you could really talk to me anytime you're ready for a code review. But of course, you could also talk to me if you just want to talk about where you're at with your project. The sooner you work on this, the better, waiting until that crunch time. So what I will probably have is on that Wednesday. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move this as we're talking to Thursday. Because I don't know why I didn't think about this beforehand, but because I do have my night class that I will have, their code reviews will be that night. That way it can give me an ability to have a couple of later code reviews on the 21st. Also know that if you're doing any late work, and I know this is a repeat, but just good to hear it more than one time, is that you can do that here. You have to have that done before midnight on the 21st. Again, because I've extended that one day, because I'm glad I saw this. See, that's the other reason that you look at these things, is I'm looking at them too and thinking about my schedule. So I will put together various times for these, probably starting, but for some of you, it doesn't really matter, right? So if you want a time outside of what I will put together, let me know. And to the best of my ability, I will work that out. Okay, so I think that's it. All right. Happy Friday. It is really nice weather. It's warming up really quickly in Fresno. They're talking about reopening parts of our state and the economy. So that's hopeful, I think. We'll see how well the next steps happen. So, anyway, peace out.